We warmly welcome you all to our podcast series, the ONTOPIC'22, organized by the Commerce Society of Royal College, where we have an interesting talk on a trending topic in the field of business and economics. Today in our episode, we'll be diving deeper into the depths of some key aspects of human resource management, which is a trending topic in the present world. Our guest today is currently serving as the Chief Visionary Officer of Vision 8 Academy. He is a leading business trainer with over 25 years of banking experience, with an MTD from the Global Academy of Finance and Management and an MBA from the Belford University, both in Florida, USA. Also serving as an advisor at the Fintech Association of Sri Lanka, he happens to be the first Sri Lankan recipient of the Certified Digital Finance Professional certification from the Global Academy of Finance and Management. It is with great pleasure that we invite Visionary Guru, Mr. Amintha De Silva, to On Top 22. I'm Kalyamithananda, your host for this episode. Our first question, sir. What is human resource management?
Right now, when you talk about human resource management, this new concept came to the world somewhere in late 80s, and in Sri Lankan terms, it's like in early 90s. So we will talk about a personal manager, or because before human resources, that's the name it came to the world in Sri Lanka. It's personal manager, Piris Kalamanaka. Now they saw that's not correct. It's not the Piris Kalamanaka. It's more than that. Then subsequently, the world has changed. That is because of with the Windows and all everything, the inventions came somewhere in late 80s. So they value the human resource as a resource. So this is the history actually I want to talk about it. It's a little history. So now we are talking about the human resource management. So the human, they value as a resource, how to manage. So now when the question is, what is human resource? Now human resource actually in practice of recruiting, that is number one. You have to hire people, recruitment. The number two is hiring. Rather than recruiting, you can take on assignment basis or deploying. And the last one is managing an organization's employees. HRM is recruiting, hiring, deploying, and managing. So normally we call HRM, simply we refer as human resource or HR. That's it.
Right. Thank you very much. So our next question. What are the principles of HR management?
Yeah. There are 7 principles of basic HR is there. Number one is recruitment and selection. That is the first thing. So you have to identify the right kind of talent, right? You have to take them to a right kind of a selection process. Then you have to recruit. That is number one. Then number two, you have to do the performance management, because everybody end of the day, like let's say end of the month they will get a salary. So it means you have to work. Once you work, you will get the salary. So it's the performance. Without working, you won't get. There's some organizations, they are paying salaries on 20th, some 25th, some 30th, some maybe next month 10th. So it's everything, how much of work you are putting into. So end of the day, you will get a return as a, like let's say like HR, human resource, you are putting input. So output is the performance, that is your salary. Number 3 is learning and development. So you can't recruit and give the salary, you won't get the results. So you have to send them through proper learning and development. So now we talk about the HRM. No, now we are talking about the HRD. Human Resource Management is HRM. Human resource. Now we talk about D stand for development. Now here it's very tricky subject. You have to recruit, you have to pay salaries, you have to look after them. Then number 3 is you have to learning and development. Number 4 is succession planning. In the present context, actually, because I should say nobody is perfect. Anybody, even you can come and work on my place. So immediately you can't have that type of a situation unless the company should have a succession plan. Let's say Amintha De Silva, if Amintha is leaves, we have to keep an audience, we have to keep an opportunity, Kalya, Nityananda to come and take it. So that's why the learning and development part is very important. So the succession plan also important. When you climb the ladder, you have to create your subordinates and who will take your position. That is very important aspect in HR. That is number 4. Number 5 is compensation and benefit. Now we talk about the performance, that is salary. But here the compensation and benefits, like what type of benefits we can give it to a staff member or employee. It can be employee trust fund, right? Employee provident fund, EPF, ETF. Then we can say medical benefits, traveling allowances, vehicle allowances. There are plenty of things. That is the benefit. But the compensation means if you perform well, you will get an extra bonus. If you reach, now normally in my context, if you reach, now if I am a salesperson, Kalya, they pay salary for me to bring business. If I bring, that's my salary. Let's say if I had to bring 5 million worth of business. So that is equal to my salary. If I bring, when they are paying salary, you have to bring 5 million. If I bring more than 5 million, then the company is giving a compensation for you, a benefit for you. That also, then it's giving you, it's sort of an injection, it's sort of a wow factor for you to bring 6 million tomorrow, for you to bring 7 million tomorrow. So that's a compensation and benefits. Then the 6th one is human resource information system. That is very important thing. HR, always you should have information system. Date of joining, your biological details, everything should be there. And the 7th one is HR data and analysis. HR data and analysis is very important. How many days you come to work, how many late comings, how many hours extra you work. So based on that, at the time of giving promotion or analysis, the HR data and analysis is very important. So these are the 7 what you call basic principles of HR.
Right, sir. I think the next question is very important for all of us. What are the key responsibilities of HR management?
Yeah, that's a tricky question. There are 3 things, right? So we it's like repeating. There are 3 things. The HR maybe 100 years before or today or 100 years after. Well, first thing is staffing. Staffing, right? You have to recruit people and you have to manage staff, right? Number 2 is you can recruit staff, but very important, you have to define and dedicate, you have to define and design work to that person. Yes, we are recruiting Kalya today from 8 to 5. This is your job role. This is the job you have to do. So it's very important. So when you join, we know our job role. It's defined and designing. That is number 2. Then the number 3 is employee compensation and benefits. Okay, what's my going to be salary, my benefits and compensation, right? Okay, now streamline. Number 1 is recruiting, staffing. Number 2, defining and designing work. Number 3 is employee compensation and benefits. But one more thing I had to tell you, this is very important thing. What is very important? Now what has happened, the most important factor of HRM is HRM should be drive that particular employee for the maximum productivity of the organization. right? They have to give the maximum by optimizing the effectiveness of its employee. That's very important. So you have to identify the effectiveness of its employees, right? Then you have to increase the productivity of the organization. Because what happened, why people are like, we have a business module. We want to bring X amount of money tomorrow. Now, who will bring that money? It's your employees, your staff members. So the productivity they are bringing is always you have to maximize. So you can't maximize without creating the effectiveness of the employees. So that's why HRM role is very important. That much, yes.
Our next question, our fourth question. How important is human resource management for the business world?
Right. So as I said before, now the management is preparing a target, X amount of target. We are calling organization strategic objective. Organization, now when you open a company, Kalya, you have a vision, mission for your company. So organization strategic objective. So what is the strategic objective? Let's say to bring 100 tomorrow business, let's say 100. So always there's a bridge between employees' performance and organization strategic objective. Now the organization strategic objective is 100, but if the employee brought 90, what will happen? There's a gap. So the HR management come into play to bridge the gap. So that is very important role. That's why the HR is, that's why we are calling Kalya human resource management. You have to manage, right? So then the second one is moreover an efficient HR management team can give firms an edge over their competition. Some organizations in Sri Lanka, in the world, they're always supporting employee transformation. So that is called the edge over competition. Let's say some banks are there, always X bank is better than Y. Sometimes X company better than Y. The role play is HR. HR has to do a very strong and very effective role end of the day. Then last one is the HR is the person recruiting people. You can have a strategic objective X, Y, Z, but if you not recruit the right kind of a people, then you cannot drive through. So it's very important. HR is always bridging the gap between employee performance and organization strategic objectives. If the HR management manage this properly, they have the edge over their competitors. And how they will do, they have to recruit a right kind of person. That's it.
This is our penultimate question, the fifth question. How is it to deal with people and get the maximum output from them?
Yeah, because now here you have to drive. In those days, as I said, even I remember I started working under personnel manager. Personnel manager, he was giving instructions. He was just like a manager. Now the HR comes into play is a leader. It's not a, it's previously it's a boss. He's always showing the path. But the leader is taking team towards the success. So that's the HR role, right? So always number one, the productivity reducing, the increasing productivity. What is the number one is always giving the maximum support to employees. Then the second one is ensure employees are sitting comfortable. Okay, always you have to give maximum support and let them feel comfortable. Then set the perfect temperature. You can't press the button from the first go. You know, it's a temperament is very important. Then the fourth one is reduce noise level. So always you have to keep the momentum going. Number 5 is support flexible working, because you can't ask staff to come at 8 o'clock and leave at midnight. No, you can't. So according to Sri Lankan way, 45 hours per week you have to work. So the flexible hours should be there, right? So encourage healthy eating choices. So normally we are giving a small break in the morning for breakfast and small snack tea break we are giving. Lunch hour, half an hour we are giving. Those days 1 hour. And in the evening, again 5 minutes we are giving for tea. So encouraging healthy eating choices. So you can't work. You're not a machine. So it's a human. You are touching human. So the break is very important. Then the number 7 is invest in employee happiness. The more you're happy, the more your employees happy, the more the benefits you will get. So always, in the world now, there are countries, actually the happiest country. You just Google and see which country is the most happiest country. So if you see most happiest country, the employees also happy. Then the productivity also happy. And the whole country is getting the benefit. So the invest in employee happiness is very important. Then the last one is provide the right technology. Provide the right technology means it's like in your palm, on your lap, the technology is there. So I remember, Kalle, when I started, I had to stand and go and take some printouts and everything. But here now, not only that, I remember we used to write a document and give it to a typist to type a document. Then again, you have to check whether the typing errors are there. But now, because of, thank God, because of the system, because of the technology, no need, there's no typist. You become a typist. You can type, you can amend, you can do whatever. Then you put it to an email, you can send. That's it. Now, before, you have to prepare a letter, you have to sign, and you have to send by post. So you have to wait maybe 1 week or 1 month to get a reply. But thank God, because of the technology, you just press the button, the recipient you will get within seconds. So you have to give right type of a technology if you are expecting employees to give the productivity. So these are the 8, get the maximum from the employees. You have to look after. You have to always give the right signals to them. Then, we should allow them to work on a very peaceful environment. And, the eating habits also should be there. And very important thing, you have to provide the right kind of technology, and you have to capitalize on employee happiness. Happy employees, great salary, great business, wow factor is there. That's it.
So, our final question to you. What are the new trends HR face in the future as a challenge?
Yes, this is the most difficult question actually, because now everybody is struggling at the moment. Now I remember when this 2 years before, you remember 2.5 years before, Kalya, there was something called a COVID situation happened in Sri Lanka, 2019 March. So everybody was panic. Even you got panic, I got panic, everybody panic. You know what has happened? Actually, I spoke to one of my mentors in America, that is Mackenzie. So when I talked to Mackenzie, that I was listening to one of their presentation, they said uh, COVID is an eye opener, because he said on the present context. Now, when I heard that, when I hear that message, COVID is an eye opener, I got shocked. What the bloody hell they are talking? How is going to be an eye opener? But when I took 2-3 steps back, I realized, yes, definitely, COVID is an eye opener, because somebody you believe, they gave a different understanding for you to think differently. So it's very important. You have to see this as a challenge. So that's why the HR is coming into a big role. There are three things I am talking here. One is the transformational relationship. Now here, normally, Kalya, we are always on the transaction. You do, okay, you come to me, you want to buy something from me, I will satisfy you, that's it. That is the transaction leadership. Now the transaction, but the transformation is, it's not like that. Transformation is when you come to my place to buy something, you have to talk to you nicely, you have to interact with you have to greet, then you try to inquire what type of services you are expecting. Then I have to give choices to you. Then you have to decide, okay, whether I supposed to get this, buy this product or not. Oh, then you keep on negotiation. It's very important, like you have to see the transformation is very important. Transformation means you are responsible for the total journey of the customer. When the customer comes to take a pair of shoes, it's the moment once you sold, it won't conclude the deal. Till user may make the service, and when you're using that, the relationship, it's important to maintain. So the transformational leadership means, like HR, what has happened? What happened is, normally HR previously, they just focus on the transaction. But now we have to take the journey as the transformation. Transformation means you have to see the bigger picture. You have to see the bigger picture. Leadership means it's not the one-way traffic. You have to see, okay, journey, it's very important. It's the life as a journey. So business as a journey. Now school career as a journey. It's not only grade. Now you are in grade 11 or 12 or 10. It's a journey. So the transformation also, it's a journey. So that is number one. So HR, the challenge one is the transformation leadership. The second one is the accountability. Now, when you recruit somebody, we ask them to be responsible. You have to come to work at 8 o'clock. You have to go at 5 o'clock. You have to do this type of work. Now, why the accountability is coming into play is what the responsible, if you are a responsible person, means you do your job only, that's it. But accountable means you are responsible for the loss or the profit, everything, the total transaction you are responsible. That's why I'm taking into consideration the transformational leadership. The entire process you should be responsible. Now, this is what happened to Sri Lanka. People are responsible, but they are not accountable. You should be accountable, right? The HR, the new trend is you have to create accountable employees. Then only you can minimize frauds in the organization. When they come to work to office at 8 o'clock, they feel, okay, I'm a responsible person. I had to do my job diligently. I had to do my job honestly, and I am accountable. I am an accountable person. Then accountability, once you create that transformation and accountability, automatically all the employees, they feel like they own the company. They own the company. That is very important. The HR, these three things are important, Kalya. The number one is you have to create your employees as transformational leaders. Accountability, you have to make sure. The third one, we feel only the owners are doing the job. No, you also part of employees. You should feel I am the owner of the company, because end of the month I am getting a salary. It's a hard-earned money for me. I am going to look after myself, my family, and all the future livelihood, luxury life, everything I'm going to have because of I am getting this salary. So the once the ownership comes into play, you know, that we can minimize we can mitigate the risk of, you know, the frauds in any organization. So the conclusion, I am telling the HR, the new trend is you have to focus your all the employees to have the transformational leadership, accountability, and the ownership. Now, when you create this, you will see a better Sri Lanka tomorrow. That is my best wishes. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. Your presence and wise words helped to magnify our cause in the best possible way, making this project a huge success. We look forward to our next interactions. Wishing you all the best of luck for your future endeavors.